battery committee, and I'm not looking forward to having to drive all the way out there for the meetings. I don't like
that's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
We have an Ego lawnmower, battery operated lawnmower. We got it 2 years ago to the day, the 20th of May, 2019. And the battery keeps, I mean, I can mow like half of our yard, have to charge the battery up. Well, when we initially got it, I could mow our yard twice on one charge. Anyway, I called Ego up, and they're going to replace the battery because it's only 2 years
Oh,
old.
good.
3-year warrant. They're $250, the battery. Anyway, I asked the guy, "Oh, you're working from home?" He said, "Oh yeah, that's going to be short-lived." He said he's got a terrible commute to the office. He really likes working from home.
Yeah, my husband works from home, and he's not looking forward to going back next month.
Well, I'm not looking forward to wearing pants. Well, I hope these guys didn't forget about it.
I know. I just saw Mitch. So, not sure.
Today felt like a Friday. That's probably what it is. I was thinking it was Friday all day today because the last day of school, and it just so weird to end on a Thursday.
It's not the last day at school for Xenia students, actually.
I don't know that it is for anybody but Bellbrook, actually.
More reason for kids to be a Bellbrook student.
I have 2 grandkids. My son's 2 boys live in Hillsboro, and their last day of school was yesterday.
Oh.
Okay, so it is after 6. If we want to go ahead and get started, Denny, could you act as chair?
You can.
And if the others can join us, I swear, my brain already lost stuff.
Okay, well, I have 6:02, so I would like to call to order the May 20th, 2021 Planning Board meeting. Can we have roll call, please, Pam?
Yes. Mr. Tuttle.
Here.
Mr. Stengel.
Here.
Mr. Bennett.
Here, with no pants on.
Right.
I'm sure they'll show up in a little bit.
Yeah, I just checked back through my emails and I don't see that they said they weren't gonna make tonight's meeting, but something could have happened, so.
Okay, let's talk about the prior minutes of March 18th. March 18th, wow.
Yeah,
Does anybody have any comments or corrections on the minutes of March 18th? It's a long time ago.
They look good to me.
Have an approval?
They look good to me. I move that we approve the minutes of March 18th.
Okay, do I hear
I'll
a second?
second.
Okay, great.
I'll second.
all right. Mr. Stengel made a motion to approve the minutes from March 18th, 2020, and this was seconded by Mr. Tuttle. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along to old business. We have a review of changes to Article 14. Jessica.
So we got Article 14 back from the lawyer, and upon reviewing some information from the lawyer, Melissa, Pam, and I all sat down and decided to together go through Article 14 again to touch up the changes that were addressed by the lawyer and try to make it more clear. So we were kind of hoping to get your input on it and to see what you guys think of the new revised copy.
I like it.
I'll second that. I like it. I spent 30 minutes this morning on the couch reading through both the edited and unedited version. I think there's a lot of really good work there, and I was hard pressed to find anything that I would want to question.
I had a few things I highlighted. Overall, it looks great. I mean, compared to what it did look like, which was a confusing mess. But I just highlighted a few things. I think most of it is just like grammatical type stuff. Like 14.01 at the very beginning, there's just a repeat. It says and to establish. It's like I said, stupid stuff, but it's right in the first sentence.
No, thank you for catching that, because obviously, yeah, that's one of the things. After you've read through something so many times, you just can't see it.
You gloss over, yeah. You just can't. You don't even notice it because it's.
Yeah.
And then let's see. All that looked good. All that looked good. I think the next thing. I had a quick question actually about fences in the downtown districts. That was 1407.6. And I guess I was just curious, in the downtown district, you're allowed to go to the front edge of the principal building, not the back corner. That just surprised me, I guess, because that would put the fence like parallel to the front of the house.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that was written that way originally. It may just be because of the lots, the way the lots are created over there. They're kind of narrow. You don't have a lot of work.
Sure.
I believe that's probably why. It does sort of allude to the fact that it really wishes that you wouldn't put up a fence, but it doesn't. We can't prohibit anybody from actually putting up a fence.
Sure. Okay. I was just making sure, I guess, that was what we intended, the front edge. But I guess when you think about some super narrow, I can picture my aunt and uncle's house that, is right next to the other one. And it actually looked better with the fence up to the front corner than at the back corner. But okay. Anyway, that was just a question. 14.09. I know we kind of covered this downtown review board members thing before, but I just wanted to make sure the first one is one member shall be a resident of both districts. Is that what we intend? Because the active one is awfully tiny.
Yeah, it should actually say either of those. It needs to be, yeah.
Or just the downtown encompasses the active.
Yeah, that's true. We just have it say, but take out the word both. Yeah.
Yeah, because it just says and, so like that would imply both.
Right.
Could be in, and that's going to be such a small area. I just figured we can't really want that, right?
No, that would be incredibly limiting.
Yes. And then I know we talked about the term limits, and I love the exception for the downtown district, one member resident. But I'm just wondering too, how many actual businesses are in the downtown district? Do we need to have a potential exception for them as well if we can't get enough owners who want to be on it?
It says that we only have to have one. And
okay.
Yeah, it says there has to be one,
it is one member.
Person that's a business owner. So, and
have we ever had an issue with that in the past, finding one business
I guess they
owner
did at one point because somebody had been a business owner and then I don't know, they moved out of town or something. And then I guess there was a period of time where they had trouble, but we do have enough businesses. I don't see that should be a problem. And I think it's really important to have a business.
No. I was just wondering if we should have a potential exception for the number of term limit on the business owner. If you have an issue finding a different business, because essentially every 6 years, that owner can't ever do it again. And so I just didn't know if that could potentially be a problem. If we never change owners, eventually you're going to run out. Over enough time, but I guess.
New businesses move in and old businesses go away. So. I don't know.
Well, but hopefully they would do it, I guess. But I didn't know if that, again, it's a you guys thing. I just was curious if we wanted a similar exception for the business owner as we have for the resident of the downtown district. Again, that's up to you guys. I just was reading it and thinking, oh my gosh, what if we run out of business owners like we could run out of residents, But anyway, like I said, that's up to you guys whether you think we need to add that or not. But and then I think.
Well, can we get, hold on a second, Tim. Can we get thoughts, Denny and Ed? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Tim's right. Eventually, you're going to run out of people if it's the same business owner all the time. But I, quite frankly, don't think that's ever been a major problem in the past. Ed, what do you think?
Something I've seen since we did the revitalization plan is there seems to be so many more people wanting to get involved with serving on boards for the city. I mean, and I think it's great. So I think Tim's got certainly has a point there, but I don't see us running out of people. I mean, we could add some wording in there, if you could.
Well, what's
Sit out a term
resident?
and then come back and serve another term.
I think the resident wording is just if somebody can't be found, right?
Is that how it states? I can't remember now.
It says, yeah, this member may serve more than the allowed term limit if a replacement can't be found when their term expires. So maybe, again, whether you want to duplicate that language and say, a business owner can essentially stay for an extra term if you can't find anybody else.
I don't think that there's a problem with saying that because it could potentially be a problem. There could be an economic downturn in the future, and we could have, unfortunately, a loss of businesses in downtown. Hopefully that never happens, but always potential.
Yeah, I like adding the wording from that other part, and we'll just
just duplicate that wording.
duplicate that. Yeah.
I think my only other question, if you go down to, it's 14.14.4 and then 14.15, and this is maybe more just a question. It talks about appeals procedure in 14.14.4, and then 14.15 also talks about appeals procedure, but they reference different people. So like the one talks about the city council, the other talks about Board of Zoning Appeals. Is it the same?
It should just be Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay, because 14.14.4 just says bringing hearings before the city council, whereas the next section talks about Board of Zoning.
Correct all those, and we just missed it.
We missed that. Thank you.
Okay.
That was supposed to, that was supposed to be changed.
Okay. I didn't know if we even needed that 14.14.4 section at all, because you have it all covered in the next section.
Yeah, it's basically the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the wording is almost identical, just like I said, the board difference. I think again, I'm not a lawyer, but that section seems like you could just take the whole thing out and just leave 14.15 to cover appeals.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Yeah.
We either combine one of those sections, so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I had. That was the last thing that I had.
Ed, do you have anything?
Nope, I'm good.
I have one little question. It's nothing about this, but Pam and Jesse, on the PDF you sent out, Pam, on the right-hand side of the PDF, there are comments.
Oh.
Are those comments off of YouTube or what? Where are they coming from?
Yeah. So when you're tracking changes in your document, because these all started out as Word documents, then I put them into a PDF to combine them together to send them out. But in Word, when you're tracking changes so that you can see the changes that each person makes, it tracks them along the side. And in a final version, that all gets cleared out, because once we combine all the changes, then we don't need to remember who suggested which change. So all that stuff that was in the side goes away. It's just for our.
One of those people, I didn't even know who they were.
It's the law.
Yeah, those were the people from legal.
People from legal?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I don't know. I won't say there was some bizarre comments, but there was. I thought.
Okay. Well,
I wouldn't.
They try to ask any question they can think of to ask to make sure we have covered everything. So,
Okay, now I have a motion to approve the changes to Article 14.
Well, I'll move that we approve the changes to Article 14.
For a second, Tim?
Yeah, are we approving at this point, or you guys need to bring it back to us, I guess?
I think we could just change what you guys stated because it's really not a
Okay.
lot.
it's just a few things.
We don't
Okay.
need a motion.
Yeah, then I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. So, Mr. Stengel made a motion to approve Article 14 with the changes discussed in the planning board meeting of May 20th. And this was seconded by Mr. Tuttle. Mr. Stengel,
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes, we lost Denny.
Uh-oh. Mr. Bennett, where'd you go? Come back and vote.
We need 3.
You gotta get back here. Where'd you go? Oh, man, technology.
Can't just disappear from well, I guess you could, but from regular people.
Come on, log back in. Where'd you go?
Uh-oh.
Benny.
Can you text him, Pam?
You know what? I can try. See if I can get a hold of him. Come on. Okay, we'll try and find him. So anyway, I was gonna let everybody know, I'll let you guys know while we're waiting. So we do have the capability of meeting in person as long as everybody wants to meet in person. I can't have some people on Zoom and some people in the chambers, but if everybody wants to come back to chambers, we do have the availability to do that now. And we can broadcast it out to YouTube, so it'll still be public that way. Because we got that part of the system fixed. The other part's still not fixed, but so we can't do a hybrid meeting where some people are in person and some people aren't. So, you know, if for the next meeting, we want to see how everybody feels, and if everybody wants to meet in person, we'd be able to do that. So just so you guys know.
Count me down as wanting to meet in person.
And guess what? I'm guessing Denny's going to be on board. He's going to have to wear pants, but I'm guessing he's going to vote for that after this. He's not returning my text message, which means he's probably trying to figure out what happened. Okay.
So we'll just talk about random stuff. So the village, so this Article 14 is going to go to the village review board after your approval, and then it'll go to council, and then hopefully at some point, you know, it'll be finished. So
Someday. Where did he go? He's selling more stuff at the garage sale. That's it.
Yeah.
maybe he sold his modem.
I don't need this stuff anymore. Needs to go away.
Is the only other thing tonight the fee
Uh-huh.
for the zoning letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess, do we want to start talking about it, or do we want to see if Denny's going to figure out how to get back?
I mean, there's not much point because we can't approve it
I
if
know.
he doesn't get back. So
Maybe you should call him. I don't know. Sam.
Let me try calling him.
I would say he can Zoom on his phone, but I don't want to go that route if we don't have to.
I've done it.
I have to.
Is he coming back? Hold on, we
No,
lost Ed.
lost Ed.
You guys are dropping like flies. What's that? Jeez. Oh, yeah, meeting in person next time. That's just, oh, here comes Denny. Okay, hold on. I'll stop calling him. Let him.
Oh, now Ed's gone.
Hi, Denny.
What happened?
I don't know. You fell away. And then as you were logging back on, we lost Ed. Don't know what's happening.
Bye.
Oh, here comes Ed.
Thank you for asking for his vote on the
All
approval.
right, here we go.
Okay.
There we go. Everybody's back, I guess. Well,
Okay, let's vote really quick before people disappear again. So we're
Okay,
voting
all
again
right,
on,
all right.
we're
Before
voting on
I-
Article 14. I've got Mr. Tuttle, I've got Mr. Stengel. Mr. Bennett, how do you vote?
Yes,
Yay.
yes.
Okay, next item.
All right, next thing is new business. Zoning verification letter fee. Jessica?
So this year particularly, we have received probably 5 requests for a zoning verification letter, all of them in response to Mill Pond. And we just don't have a fee in place like most municipalities for this type of work. And it can be a lot of work sometimes, especially researching back. Like I had to, for Mill Pond, I had to go through old files and find out information and look through old planning board minutes. And I really honestly think that we should have some fee of some sort. And that's why I did the calculations that were in the staff report to kind of show the justification for the fee amount that I came up with. And was wanting to know if you guys would be okay with modifying section 124401C and adding line of item number 5, zoning verification letter fee for $50.
Well, like Jessica said, that is a lot of work and we really ought to be reimbursed for that.
Yeah, I agree. But I only question, did Xenia not have one? Because they're not on the list. I'm just curious.
I didn't find one particularly for Xenia, so I was looking.
Okay.
So I looked for in their municipal code, and then if I don't find it, I'll check a different municipality. But they might have one. It just could be labeled as something else. So
I was just curious. Yeah, no, I think $50 sounds fine. I mean, Sugar Creek is $50. I don't see any reason why. I mean, that seems like it's pretty middle of the road. We're certainly no Dayton. So, I mean, I think I have absolutely no problem with that. I think we should charge for it.
do we need a motion?
Yeah, do we need a motion on that, Pam?
Yes.
Okay, do I hear a motion for the approval of the zoning verification fee?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, a motion was made by Mr. Stengel to approve the zoning verification letter fee of $50, and this was seconded by Mr. Tuttle. Mr. Stengel,
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle,
Yes.
Mr. Bennett.
Yes. Okay, that was good. Now we're gonna open discussion. I have a couple things, but does anybody else have anything besides me?
I just have a little bit of information supporting what I think you were going to talk about. So
Oh, the Bradford Pear? So what have you found out?
well, I think that moving forward, the city of Bellbrook should, at minimum, state that in new subdivisions, invasive species should not be used in any plantings and the creation of a subdivision, whether or not they're, can be purchasable until 2023 or not. And at regional planning, when we would approve subdivisions, one of the line items would typically be to prohibit non-native species from being planted. So it's not something that can't be pursued.
Right, right. Yes, I would like the language to read, not necessarily Bradford pear, but non-native species. Because if you look, oh my gosh, almost anywhere in the woods, going down I-75, going down 675, off to the left or right, all these huge white pear trees. And they're originally from Southeast Asia. Builders brought them in because they grow quick. Now they're self-seeding themselves and choking out native plants. So I like that language, Jesse.
Yeah, they get into the sewer systems, they get into groundwater, or not really groundwater, but into creeks and just end up planting everywhere. So it ends up being a huge problem, and it really does need to be taken care of because it affects, our ecosystem, and that's vitally important.
Do we need anything motion-wise, Pam, or anything like that?
No, because at this point, we would have to write it into
Okay, yes.
ordinance form, so,
So that'll come back. We'll see that in the future.
yep. They'll come back around, but it's a good idea. Thank you for championing that, Denny.
That is from my wife, my darling wife, Carol, who's a master gardener, and she says, you got to bring that up. So anyway, I don't know if you got the picture of the sign.
Yeah,
I know the city people in general don't have the time to probably go around and pick up illegal signs. Like, the sign I showed you, it's up here at Vimco and
yeah.
up by your house, Pam.
Yes, I actually pointed it out to Melissa, and I were in the car today together and pointed it out to her, but normally, yeah, if we see those, we'll, grab them or have service department grab them. But right now, because of the garage sale, the sign ordinance is waived through the end of the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying in
Yes, in general,
garage sale
you
times,
can't have anything in the right of way,
Right,
right? That's a visibility hazard.
Yes, my point is, can we authorize the Bellbrook Police in their, tooling around town to stop and pick them up?
I don't know that we ask the police to do it. I know service does it.
Typically I do it. So
Or
it's passed to me usually. So
But Jesse is so busy.
I know.
How many jobs do you have, Jessica? With the city, come on.
Yeah.
Well, can we relay that then to Ryan, the service superintendent, to if when they see signage like that? I thought the police, yeah, but
Yeah. Well, we can relay it to Melissa, who can.
okay,
City manager is over the department heads, so
great.
we can pass along to her that maybe that could be something that somebody could help Jessica out with.
Help Jesse out with, because
Yeah.
yeah,
It's tough to be everywhere all the time.
can't be, yeah, and
sometimes
Jesse,
it's raining when I have to move those, and it's not pleasant.
Yeah.
okay. Does anybody else have any more open discussion?
When we all disappeared, we were about to discuss our thoughts on in-person meetings again.
Yeah, and then you guys
yeah,
disappeared.
yeah.
So I was explaining that we're still having some situations, but we can start meeting back in person if everybody wants to, but we can't do a hybrid meeting. So either everybody has to be on Zoom or everybody has to be in person. I can't have some people on Zoom and some in person because our system's not coordinated enough to pull that off. But if before the next meeting, if we can send out like a little questionnaire, see how everybody feels. And if everybody wants to, for the next one, we could meet in the council chamber.
Well, I must say, Zoom meetings are convenient.
I know.
Yeah, and
So,
I would say don't feel pressure to
Yeah.
enter either way. Enter how you what you want. So
well, and also here's the other thing. So it's going through, a new bill is going through the Ohio House. But as of right now, municipalities are only approved to do virtual meetings through the end of June. So you'd only have one more Zoom meeting anyway, unless this new bill gets adopted that would extend that option of having virtual meetings. So, but right now they haven't extended it yet. And I'm on a list that's supposed to tell me, updates to that bill, and it hasn't moved in the past month. So I'm not sure if it's, where that's standing, but as of right now.
Does the June 2nd date have anything to do with it?
No, this was decided at the beginning of the year that the state would allow the virtual meetings, and they just picked a day. They said halfway through the year. And so they picked June 30th.
All right.
And so we're coming up on that shortly. And so I don't know if they're going to seriously consider extending it, or, to give people that permanent option or not, or if they're going to make everybody go back to in person. But so really you only have the June meeting as your, last Zoom meeting. So something to keep in mind though, and we can.
Well, it really doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
I mean, I'm fully vaccinated.
Go ahead, Jessica.
I'm fully vaccinated. I think Pam is. So
I am.
I think we all are. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am.
Yeah.
My 13-year-old got his first one, so
Oh, good for him.
Yay!
I got him in literally the first day that was available. I got him in. I took him out of school and then took him back to school. I was like, 1 o'clock appointment, you can go back.
I have 3 kids and 6 grandkids, and they're all between 11 and 14. 6 of them. So I know the 11-year-old can't get vaccinated, but I asked my 3 kids, I said, they each have 2 kids. Anyway, I said, are you going to have, the grandkids vaccinated? Oh, well, yeah, maybe. No rush. It's like, what? I don't get it.
I took my 17-year-old to get vaccinated. Actually, he got vaccinated right along with me for at least my second shot. But they shoot him all the way to the front of the line because he was a minor when I went to get back. I felt like he gets to go to the front of the line. But it was. I'm very happy that he got to get vaccinated when he did. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the big question is, but who knows? Anyway, any more open discussion?
When are we scheduled in June? When would the next one be?
The next one would be June 17th. So it's usually the third Thursday.
Third Thursday of the month.
Uh-huh.
That's what I have.
Okay.
I suppose we could do one more Zoom.
Yeah, if you want to do one more Zoom, we can, and then see where the state is.
Then talk about it at the June meeting, so when we have everybody here.
Yeah, that'd be good. We're just making decisions for everybody. It's all right.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no more open discussion, do I have a okie dokie for adjournment?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
A motion was made by Mr. Tuttle to adjourn the May 20th planning board meeting, and this was seconded by Mr. Stengel. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
All
See ya.
right.
Stay away from the cicadas.
Oh.
Not really.
Yeah.